Hey there. So, I got a question from a friend about doing Facebook Lives and what I do beforehand to prepare myself to just go on and do it and make it awesome. And so, I was thinking about some answers and sharing some thoughts, and I thought that I would come on here and just share with you some of the things that I do and ideas for you to do. And it really comes down to mindset and your mental approach to it. You being aware of your emotions and your mindset and what you're thinking when you get ready to do it. So, real quick, I want to tell you about a couple of things, three things that I do, and I don't always do them all the same time every way, but I think they can all be helpful for you. First, when I wake up every morning, I really stop and think about I just stop and just think and feel, and then I pay attention and I watch what I'm thinking and feeling, and I ask myself if I've woken up with some anxiety or some anxious thoughts or some anxious feelings from the night. Sometimes I go to bed thinking about something I'm really excited about. I wake up and I kind of wake up in a positive place, and the more that I'm getting my life into a positive cycle, the more that that happens, and that's where I can have my starting place and build on that. But I still have times where I think that I must have dreamed some weird dreams where my mom brain is thinking about how to protect my kids if something crazy happens in the day, which doesn't usually happen. But there's that survival instinct, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I know all of us have had those mornings where we wake up and our brain is just kind of like anxious and almost feels like it's freaking out, and it's just like primed to worry and, just kind of be in that like bad mental state about the day. So the first thing that I do is I assess my mental and emotional state, and then I make sure that I take time to either meditate and sit in silence and just kind of acknowledge those thoughts and then let them pass. And if I've got the chatter of like people's voices and when I feel like people have been telling me, or if I feel pressure, I let those thoughts just kind of, watch them and then let them go and then let them go. And then I'll journal, and I'll try to journal and figure out what I'm thinking and get some of my thoughts out. And then if there are thoughts that I don't like, then I go through an exercise to change them. So the first step is to start your day by practicing that self awareness of your own mental and emotional state and taking ownership to just manage it and be like, that is yours and it's important. And you have two sides of your brain. You have a whole like amazing third person, inspired, creative, service oriented part of your brain that can look at the other part of your brain and decide to change the things that are habitual, or that can look at what's happening and decide to change it. That you can think about your thinking and change your life by doing that. Okay. So the second thing is that before going doing Facebook Lives, I always put on makeup, and I'm often dropping off kids somewhere. So I'm making breakfast, but especially while I'm putting on my makeup, basically those last couple of practical things where I'm doing something and I'm not really fully preparing, but I've got time to think, or basically it's just a window of time. I don't usually wake up and record a Facebook Live directly. I mean, if I do and I wake up early to do that, then that first step I just said, that's all I do. But often I've got to get kids to school and get back and then get ready. So during that time where I've got time, I'm going to be thinking about something. So the second thing I do is I choose what to think about. And there are many different good prompts, thinking prompts that you can use. One that I like is to think about your future self or your best self. And so I do that, and I'll often do one of two things. I'll imagine my future self that's down the road, that's like who I want to become, that's a writer, that's a speaker, that's impacting women, that's changing people's lives, that has a healthy, happy family, and that has this balance, and that is like wise and speaks words of wisdom and is just energetic and happy and healthy and fulfilled, and just all these things that I imagine that I'm like in pursuit of, right? I imagine this person, and I imagine her speaking to me and giving me advice. And usually it's something like, Alicia, take a deep breath, relax, focus on serving other people, get out of your own head, you know what you're doing, you got this, calm down, you know, and and just and maybe more practically and specifically, like focus on this, don't worry about what they said. And it's kind of, I will use that to tell myself things that I know. Like, I know that I just took this course and this other course and they contradict each other, and I know that I need to listen to that one. Or I know that I need to spend less time reading books and doing courses and spend more time reading, or whatever it is. The things that I know, I tap into that voice. If I'm doing a Facebook Live, I'll use that voice to be like, Alicia, you have something amazing to offer. People can't wait to hear what you've got to share. You're going to make a new friend because someone's going to reply. Get excited. You are changing your life. This is going to be part of your routine. Like, this is exciting. Speaking the positive things into my life, right? And then the other thing that I like to do is, oh, I lost my thought because I was thinking about the fact that I was talking about this. Maybe that's enough for today. Yeah, I lost it, so that was enough. Okay, so those are 3 steps that you can take if you are going to. Oh, no, so okay, so there was a second part of that second. I'll put it in the description if I think of it. But so that was 2. The one is like when you get up in the morning, and then the second is while you're, putting on makeup or getting kids out or whatever it is, to take control, to be aware that there's going to be time and you're going to be thinking about something, and decide what you're going to think about. So you're priming your emotions and your thoughts, and you're choosing to become the person who thinks positively, who believes, who does all these different things. And a good way to do that is to think about your positive self and what they would tell you. Or, oh, I remembered it. I knew I'd follow my. Okay. So the other thought was just to spend time visualizing, like not the part where they talk to you, but just like visualizing and imagining yourself being that person that you want to be, and doing the kinds of things that that person does that you aspire to become, and just visualizing that and just integrating that into your identity, and just being grateful and hopeful and just beginning to believe that you are in fact going to become that person. And that can be a good stepping stone to, like, sometimes you do that and then sometimes you're like, oh, okay, and that person is real because I'm going to get there and they can coach me. I can use that to coach myself into how I want to be in this moment and how I want to approach whatever it is that I'm doing. Right now we're talking about Facebook Live. You could apply this to other things. Okay, so the third thing is to, right before I'm about to do the live, I really try to tap into my mission and my why. If you've heard Simon Sinek talk about why, he has a really good, TEDx video about that. But I really try to tap into how grateful I am to be here and to do what I'm doing and to have the ability to impact others and to have my own business and to not be doing something else and doing what I used to do. So I tap into that gratitude that I am where I am. And if I start to feel fear, it really helps me to have that mission that's just like bigger than my fear. It's so big and it's so exciting that my fear doesn't even matter. I've had this driving force this fall where, like, I recently quit my job and I just got to the point where I needed out of that mentally. I just needed a new season and I was so ready. I know you've probably had a transition where you realize that you need to make the transition and you're so ready. They say, and it's true, when the pain of change is less than the pain of change of staying the same, you will finally change. So tap into that. If you have not been doing Facebook Lives, but you've seen other people do them and you have this idea of what it could do for your business, be so excited about, and visualize. There's your visualization for Facebook Lives. Visualize what could come out of it. What could you share that could start a domino effect to meeting the next person that you need to meet for the next thing that you need to do in your business? How could it impact your community? How could you get more engagement? Just envision going live on Facebook consistently and sharing the message that you're about to share. Visualize the best thing that could possibly happen and think about how grateful you are that that is what you're able to do, and think about that before you go live, and there won't be brain space left in your brain to be worrying about what people are thinking. Choose to think about something super exciting and positive. Cultivate faith and hope and joy with your emotions, um, Gabrielle Bernstein. I love the way she talks about love versus fear, and she's got a great book, May Cause Miracles, that walks through like really short daily meditations. So it's a really good practical way to start getting into that. So I recommend that. I did that recently. Went through the 40 days, and that really helped me think about love versus fear. So when you have a thought, or you're about to make yourself do something, if you're trying to use the 5-second rule and you're thinking, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit go on the Facebook Live, right? And you're like, and you're like in that moment, like that is tricky. Instead of being recognized, if you start to be, usually it's fear, right? And usually we're afraid of the unknown, we're afraid of being embarrassed, we're afraid that it won't be perfect. I still have very much a perfectionist tendency. I am recording some videos this weekend for my course, and I'm having to do this. This is a good time for me to share about this because I'm literally thinking through this process. I was doing this process before this very video, and I made myself stand up, walk around, think about you. I imagined who you are. I put some of my friends' faces and names are visually for me emotionally, like right here in the camera. Like I'm thinking about the friend that asked me this question. I have a couple other friends that we're doing different, trainings for each other in a group, and we're each sharing about things. And so this is one of the topics I offered, and some of them said, "Yeah, that sounds really interesting." And so I'm thinking practically about how grateful I am to be here, starting my own business, able to share with you, hearing about things that could help you, and then how excited I am to have the opportunity and have the equipment and have the video camera and be able to get the recording program to work. Like, yes, it's recording, and the mic, and just to have everything, to be so excited about the opportunity, and to feel, I was talking about love, to feel that love for you that just in this moment drowns out my fear. And the more you cultivate those moments and cultivate those experiences, and so you've got to keep finding things that challenge you, and live video is probably a really good one that for some people they might want to try this with blog posts, or with writing the blog post, or with publishing the blog post, or recording the audio, or recording a video. But live video is just, yeah, like it takes a lot. Like all of the protective mechanisms in your brain rise up and go, oh crap, what if such and such. Always pay attention. If you feel your thoughts or emotions start to go to what if, ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen, to assess, because that's the source of worry. Like when you start to worry, ask yourself, is there something practical I could do to address this? If you're worried that maybe you left the water running or left the stove on or something, you could do something to, like, you could go check, right? But if you're worried about what somebody will say, if it's an imagined fear, those are the ones that you want to be aware of, and then consciously choose, is there practical action I can take? Okay, no, I'm going to choose to refocus my thoughts and my emotions and decide what I want to be thinking in this moment. And it's ultimately, the last piece of advice I would say is, it's getting out of yourself and getting into that mentality of service. And so it's not about me and thinking about how I want to do something perfect, or I want to say the right thing, or I have an outline, and what if I can't remember the next thing I was going to say, and what if I have to look away from the camera, or what if the dog barks. I don't have a dog. That was funny that I said that. We're thinking about getting a dog. What if the kids are too loud? What if the neighbor starts mowing? What if it's not perfect? But instead, I mean, you can use what if for the positive, but what if, no, I don't like that. I need a different phrase. I usually think of what if for the negative, but then I think, I am going to empower you to go do a Facebook Live later today, and it's going to change your life. Potentially that Facebook Live, but also just taking that next step. I need to stop talking because I've recorded some videos that kind of go deeper into this, but getting in action is powerful. So I hope this was all encouraging, and I started doing it partly just because I believe that as I am on my journey and I do these things and I step out in courage and I do things that are scary, that you will see me doing them, and that you will believe that you can do it too, because we're the same. We're just moms. We're just moms trying to do all the things we're trying to do. Anyways, I love you. I believe in you. I hope this was helpful. Have an amazing day. And if you're on my channel and I've recorded more videos, please go check them out. And get on my email list if you're not already, because I've got more amazing content that I'm just really excited that it will help you. So, alright. And please give me feedback, comment, let me know. I'm here. I love hearing from you. Alright. Until next time.